So this is my first video, and I would like to just sort of give my thoughts and my musings and general ramblings on about something that is coming up very very soon, which is the Rugby World Cup. Um, this event starts off in New Zealand on September the 9th, this year 2011, and I'm very much looking forward to it. It's the highlight, it's the sporting highlight of every 4 years for me. Um, More so than the World Cup or the Soccer World Cup for you Americans out there. Um, More so than the Olympics and anything else. It's a magical time because you've got a fantastic sport, fantastic atmosphere. The last couple have been incredible events, and seen some brilliant, entertaining rugby, and I really look forward to that. Um, so starting off with my team for this year is England, and I think England have got a good chance, a very good chance of performing well at this World Cup. I don't think we're going to win it. I think there are better teams than us, better prepared teams. I think the main reason though is we're too young. It's a very young team that Martin Johnson will probably be taking along. I mean, assuming, of course, that he plays many of the guys that have been consistent for the last couple of years in the Six Nations and the autumn tests and everything like that. So I don't think England have the necessary experience, the grit that comes from several or many defeats. I think that they're too young for that. The reason I say this is because the team that went out 4 years ago had a horrible start. We just about got past the USA in the very first game. South Africa killed us. Absolutely killed us. It was one of the most shameful uh, rugby matches I've ever seen because we could do nothing 4 years ago in that very first game against South Africa. And then Andy Gomersall just just about managed to pull us through against Samoa, followed by Tonga, and then from there it seemed to click. And I think the reason it clicked was because very experienced, in terms of age, old rugby players took charge and said, "Right, guys, we're going to have to settle down and pull together." And that natural grit, that grit had come from years and years and years of disappointment. Um, it was a very old, very experienced side that managed to fight its way through to the Rugby World Cup final 4 years ago. Well, England, many of those guys have retired now. Mike Catt is gone. Phil Vickery is gone. We probably won't have Simon Shaw, who is a fantastic player. We won't have Andy Gomersall at scrum half to pull us through. We won't have guys who are that experienced, or Mike Regan for that matter. We won't have those guys this time around. We've got some older heads, but they're not quite as grizzled as they were 4 years ago. I mean, Lewis Moody, fantastic captain. He's a player I have a huge amount of respect for. Johnny Wilkinson, but Johnny Wilkinson is more of a technical player. He's not a leader. I'm a big fan of Johnny as well, but he is not a leader. He's not the sort of guy you want as your captain. I I think. I mean, in my opinion. So England will perform, but I think if they come up against a bigger, heftier, more experienced team, then the odds are I think they will fall out and they will be out of the World Cup. However, I think it would be safe to say that they're going to make it to the quarterfinals. My money is on them making it to the semis and then going out. Who else? Australia. Australia are going to be a team to reckon with, I reckon, this team this year, because what they have that Australian teams have not had for several decades is a pack. It's a scrum. They have a decent front row for the first time in history, it seems. um, I can't actually remember any of them, but they're good. The last couple of times I watched England play Australia, the last couple of times I watched Australia play anyone, Australia's front row really, they took some beating, which is not something you can usually say. They're usually soft up front. I mean, soft is not really a word you associate with the Aussies, but when it comes to their front row, it's strangely applicable. Well, not anymore. Not now. They've actually got a good front row. They've got experience, and what they have that not many other teams has is a back line that's just firing. They've got who have they got? Let's think about it. Number 9, Will Genia. Wow. Now here's a guy who is he's a general. He's built like George Gregan. He's a general. He's a talking, nuggety little bastard, which is what a scrum half should be. And then outside of him, Matt Gitto, if he plays inside centre or fly half, don't matter. He's a quality player. Matt Gitto, one of the best Australian players that have been around for a long time. In time, it will be proven. His talent is undeniable, though. You really would have to be to say that he's not a good player. James O'Connor, consistent goal kicker, works well as a winger. He's another good player, another bright light. Kurtley Beale, one of the best fullbacks in the world at the moment. That man, I don't know what his exact talent is and where he sort of excels at, but in general, he's a very good fullback at the moment, which is what you want. The best teams seem to have a good fullback. It seems to be one of these positions that you just can't be a great team and then be lacking in it. It's one of those strange positions because it's actually, I would never call it a key position. But anyway, Kurtley Beale fills that role and does it well. And then they've got a myriad of other players. Adam Ashley Cooper, Quade Cooper. Whether you like him or not, you cannot doubt the guy he's an attacking genius. Whether he's going to snap or not is another question. So I think Australia have got a very good chance this year. Their pack looks like they're going to open up and give the possession that their scintillating backs need. I reckon England and Australia are going to come head to head in the semis. This is why I think England are going to reach the semis and no further, because Australia, although we've beaten Australia several times recently, and I think what was it we played? I don't know. I think out of the last 4 meetings we've won 3, and they've beaten us once. Well, Australia, I think this time they may have the edge on us. They're looking for revenge. We threw them out 4 years ago, and 4 years before that, well, Johnny's drop goal. Beat them in the Rugby World Cup final in front of their own home crowd. I think Australia would beat us this time, but you never know with England. England sometimes have this quality to just clinch in. They do have this quality to clinch in. I think it would be a good game. England and Australia is always a good game. It's always entertaining. So whatever stage, if they meet, that's the night to follow the Rugby World Cup on your TVs, folks. I genuinely believe that. It's going to be one of the matches to follow. I've gone on a bit longer than I thought I would. I don't want to make this too long, as it's already 9 minutes long. Well done. But I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got a contradictory opinion to me, then fine, prepared to discuss it with you, and prepared to accept I'm wrong if I'm wrong, because I do not know everything, obviously. I don't know much. But I hope that my opinion is something that you'll enjoy agreeing with or disagreeing with, and then backing it up. At the end of the day, I think rugby is one of these games where you can talk to people about it, and you have a shared common interest, which is just debating your feelings, rather than some of these other sports, football, where it just seems to be a very Yabu sucks attitude. One party hates another party, won't talk to each other. It just pisses me off. It genuinely does. Rugby is above that. It's one of these games where you pound each other for 80 minutes, and then you come off the pitch and you share a pint with each other. Doesn't matter, you've been trying to kill each other for 80 minutes, but now you're having a pint, you're mates. That's what I like about this game. That's what I love about this game. Anyway, again, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much.